You hatch from a floating egg somewhere in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, and the current pulls you sideways before you can do anything about it. Around you, dozens of your siblings break free from their eggs at the same time, their tiny bodies scattering in every direction as the water carries them apart. Then a small fish moves through the group with its mouth opening wide, and 3 of your siblings disappear in a single pass before it turns toward you. You need to get away, so you fold your body and drop downward, sinking away from the group until the fish stops following. The current keeps pushing you sideways as you fall, and you can't do much to fight it yet. Then the seafloor rises up, and a broad leaf catches you, holding you still while the current moves around you. You stay there for a while, with your body pressed flat against the leaf. Then a crab moves toward you from the side, walking slowly with its claws open. You have no spines yet and no way to inflate, so the only thing you can do is stay completely still and wait. The crab reaches you, taps your side once with one claw, and then turns and walks away. A moment later, you push off the leaf and rise back up toward the middle of the water, letting the current carry you forward. Your siblings are gone. The fish is gone too. You drift alone through the open water, barely the size of a fingernail, with nothing around you but the reef in the distance. You don't know how to feed yet, you don't know how to hide properly, and you have none of the things that will eventually make you one of the most dangerous small animals in this ocean. But all of that is coming. You're a few weeks old now, and your body has grown just enough to start moving with some purpose along the reef. You need to eat, so you start picking at algae growing across the coral and pulling small worms out from the gaps between rocks, working your way slowly along the reef wall with your fins pushing you forward in short bursts. Then you find a thick patch of algae sitting right in the middle of the reef and move toward it. But before you can get close, a damselfish twice your size comes straight at you with its body angled forward, trying to drive you away from its feeding patch. It rams into your side and you spin sideways, knocking against the coral behind you. You need to get the fish away from you, so your body does something you've never done before. You pull water through your mouth fast, and your stomach fills and stretches outward, pushing your skin out in every direction until you've turned into a ball 3 times your normal size. The damselfish stops moving forward and holds its position, looking at the round shape in front of it. Then it turns and goes back to its patch. You hold the round shape for a moment, with your body staying fully stretched and your fins still working to keep you in place. Then you push the water back out slowly, and your body returns to its normal size. That's the first time you've ever done that, and it worked without you even trying to make it happen. You move to a different patch of algae and start eating. The damselfish watches you from across the reef, but stays where it is. You've only used it once, but the reef is full of bigger animals than that damselfish, and sooner or later, one of them won't be so easy to push back. Skip forward a few months, and you're moving along the outer edge of the reef when a grouper comes up from below with its mouth already open wide. You don't have time to inflate before it takes you in, and everything goes dark inside its mouth with its jaws closing around your body, so you do the only thing you can. You pull water in as fast as your body will allow, expanding outward in every direction until your spines push into the inside of the grouper's mouth and your body jams itself sideways between its jaws. The grouper tries to push you further back with its tongue, trying to get you past its throat, but you keep pulling water in so your body stays fully stretched and locked in place. After a moment, the grouper opens its mouth and you drop back out into the open water, still fully inflated with your spines pointing out in every direction. The grouper circles around you once, looking at the round shape floating in front of it, then turns and moves away along the reef wall. But here's what the grouper didn't know. Your skin carries tetrodotoxin, one of the strongest poisons found in any animal in the ocean. Any predator that manages to bite through you and swallow takes enough of it to stop its body working properly. The grouper got lucky today because it let go in time. Most don't. You push the water back out slowly, and your body returns to its normal size. Then you drop down to the reef floor and stay still for a while with your fins holding you just above the coral. You've now survived 2 different attacks, and both times your body gave you exactly what you needed. But the reef has animals on it that are bigger than groupers, and some of them already know what a pufferfish looks like. You're 1 year old now, and you've claimed a section of the reef for yourself. A stretch of coral with enough algae and small shellfish to keep you fed every day. It works well until another pufferfish shows up and starts feeding from the same patch, moving slowly along your coral with its mouth pulling pieces off the rock. You need to push it out, so you swim directly toward it with your body held straight and your fins pushing hard. The other pufferfish turns to face you and holds its position. You both inflate slightly, with your bodies expanding just enough to look bigger than you are, and then you close the gap and bite at its side. It bites back, catching the edge of your fin and pulling sideways so a strip of it tears loose. You pull away and circle around, with your torn fin pushing unevenly through the water so your body lists slightly to one side. The other pufferfish follows your circle, trying to cut across and get between you and the coral. So you turn into it and ram it hard with your body, pushing your full weight forward so it gets knocked back against the reef wall. It holds there for a moment, then turns and moves away along the coral, going further down the reef until it's out of your section. You hold your patch and go back to feeding, but the torn fin makes it harder to move in a straight line, so you have to work harder with your other fins to stay on course. It will grow back over the next few weeks, but for now, every pass across the reef costs you more effort than it should. You've held your ground, and the reef is yours for now. But you're old enough to start noticing something else on this reef, other pufferfish moving in patterns that have nothing to do with food. You're 2 years old now, and something has changed. You leave your feeding patch and drop down to a flat stretch of sand beside the reef, and you start moving your fins against the bottom in a way you've never done before. You don't fully understand why, you just need to do it. You use your fins to push the sand away from the center outward, working in a slow circle and building up 2 raised ridges that run all the way around a flat middle section. Then you swim back and forth across the circle with your fins brushing the sand into fine lines that spread out from the center like spokes, working over the same lines again and again to keep them clean and even. It takes you several days to finish, with your fins pushing constantly and your body circling the same path hundreds of times. That's what a male pufferfish does when he's ready to mate. The circle is the whole point. The female chooses based on the pattern, and the better the chance she stays. A female comes down and crosses the outer edge of your circle, moving slowly toward the center with her body low and her fins barely pushing. She reaches the middle, stops, and looks down at the lines in the sand around her. Then she turns and swims back up off the sand and away from the reef without releasing her eggs. You go back to the outer ridge and start repairing the sections she disturbed with her fins, pushing the sand back into place and smoothing the lines again. Then you start the whole circle again from the outside, working it back into shape. You've built it once and it wasn't enough, but the circle is still there and you're already making it better than it was before. Skip forward a bit, and you're 3 years old now. You've rebuilt the circle twice since the last female left, and this time a different female comes down to the sand and crosses the outer ridge with her body low and her fins moving slowly. She reaches the center and stops, turning in a small circle to look at the lines spreading out around her. Then she stays. You move toward her from the outer edge, keeping your body low and your fins pushing steadily so you close the gap without rushing her. She holds her position in the center as you get closer, and when you reach her, you release your sperm into the water above the sand, and she releases her eggs at the same time, letting them drift down into the middle of the circle together. That's it. That's all it takes. She then lifts herself off the sand and swims back up toward the reef, and you watch her go. Now you have a job to do. The eggs are sitting in the center of your circle, and every small fish on the reef wants to eat them, so you stay close and chase away anything that comes near. Arase drops down toward the circle, and you push forward into it with your body angled straight at it, driving it back up off the sand before it can reach the eggs. A second one tries to come in from the other side, so you turn and push it away too, then circle back over the eggs with your fins, fanning the water above them to keep the current moving across the surface. You do this for several days, with your body going back and forth above the circle and your fins working constantly, until the eggs get smaller and then disappear entirely as the larvae hatch and drift up into the open water above the reef. You've done everything right and it worked, but there's something else on this reef that has been watching your patch for weeks, and it isn't interested in your eggs. You're 4 years old now, and a Titan triggerfish has moved onto your section of the reef. It's bigger than you, with a thick body and a jaw strong enough to bite through coral, and it has decided that your feeding patch is where it wants to be. The first time it comes at you, you inflate to push it back the way you've pushed back everything else on this reef. But the triggerfish doesn't stop. It drives straight into your inflated body with its head down and bites into your side, pulling a chunk of skin away before you can move. You deflate and push away from the coral, putting distance between you and it, but it follows you along the reef wall with its body held forward and its jaw opening and closing. So you drop down toward the sand and move away from your patch, going further along the reef than you've ever gone before. The triggerfish follows you for a short distance, then turns back toward your coral. Over the next few days, every time you try to move back onto your patch, the triggerfish charges at you from across the reef with its body angled straight at you. So you turn and move away again. It bites you twice more, once across your back and once near your tail. So your body carries 3 open wounds that your skin works slowly to close over. Your toxin does nothing to the triggerfish. Its body handles it without any trouble, which means the one defense that has worked on every other animal on this reef does nothing here. After several days of this, you stop going back to your old patch entirely and instead move to a quieter stretch of reef further along, where the coral is lower and the feeding is harder, but nothing charges at you. You've lost the best patch on the reef. But you're still alive and still feeding, and this reef is full of animals that are larger than a triggerfish. You're 5 years old now, and you've been working your way along the outer edge of the reef, moving between feeding patches and staying away from the triggerfish's section. You need to cross a stretch of open water to reach the next part of the reef, so you push away from the coral and out into the open water above the sand, with your fins pushing you forward in a slow, steady line. You're about halfway across when a tiger shark comes up from below with its body angled straight toward you and its mouth already opening wide. You pull water in as fast as your body can take it, expanding outward in every direction with your spines pushing out through your skin, and you reach your full size just as the shark's jaw closes around you. But the shark's mouth is wide enough to take you whole, so your inflated body doesn't jam its jaw the way it jammed the groupers. The shark holds you inside its mouth with your spines pressing into the inside of its jaw, trying to work you toward its throat. You push more water in, trying to stretch wider, but there's nowhere left to go. Your toxin covers every part of your body and sits in your skin and organs, strong enough to kill most things that swallow you. But tiger sharks process tetrodotoxin without it stopping their bodies, so the poison that has protected you your entire life does nothing here. It never does anything to a shark. The shark swallows you whole with one push, and your body stops moving inside it a short time after. You survived a grouper, a damselfish, a territorial fight, a failed mating season, and a triggerfish that couldn't be poisoned. You built something on the seafloor that no other animal on the reef could build. And then you crossed the wrong stretch of open water on the wrong day, and that was the end of it.